This bit though, Jamesy, this is almost, it's weird, as you'll know. The football's great to be back. It's absolutely buzzing for the game tomorrow night. And yet, it's the stuff off the field, isn't it, in that regard, that's dominating talk at the moment. And people, unless you've been living under a rock, this saga, and we can call it a saga, has gone on forever and ever and ever. And even today, Geordie journalists confirm it. And there's the tweet from Fabrizio Romano. Isak plans remain clear. No intention to be part of the squad against Villa. Same against Liverpool next week. Isak keeps rejecting new deal approaches as his clear desire remains to join Liverpool. And I mean, with this, as the Geordie journalist and a few others said today, he's on strike. That's what it is. The guy's refusing to play, refusing to train. He couldn't make it clearer. I am not prepared to play for you anymore, even if you don't sell me to Liverpool, although clearly that's where I want to go to as well. James, I mean, we're all waiting for this, and it does seem it's dragged on like 84,000 years. Is there a bit for you? Because I know obviously you do all your sports science stuff, that when is Isak going to arrive? And if he does, which we expect he does, when is he going to play? It's going to be a fair while before he gets up to speed, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think we talked about this before the season, like we were talking about the transfer, like if they're going to go for Isak, it's not going to be a saga, and it's turned into a saga. It's turned into another Thiago where, he hasn't had a pre-season. He's not potentially going to be fit. It depends on what he's been doing with his other conditioning, but he's not match fitness either. Match fitness is different to kind of just, strength and conditioning. So the challenge that you're going to have is you wouldn't want to just throw him in and then he ends up injured, because again, he can be a little bit injury prone. We've seen that as well through his career. So it depends. Again, we've got the best kind of strength and conditioning and out there, so they will have a plan for him. I can't give you a definite from there. But I do think that Newcastle are going to make it extremely hard, and it's going to drag on till the end of the actual transfer window. I think it's just because it's such a humbling for them that you're taking their star man. You're basically just ripping that out, their centre forward, and we're getting him. So they're going to make it as difficult as possible. Even if they give Visa, even if they get Ramsey, I think they'll make it difficult as well. And I think there's a lot more negotiations.
It is funny, and I think of a player that you mentioned there. I mean, Jennifer's commented, isn't Vista doing the same to Brentford, but Isak gets all the flack? Well, Vista seems to be on strike, like you said, at Brentford, doing the same. Keith Andrews, their boss, has come out tonight and said, I've made a decision. He's not in the squad. He's training separate. I think everyone's knows where he's going to end up. We're all just waiting for developments. You think Victor Gyökeres, he went on strike, didn't he? Said he had a gentleman's agreement with Sporting, they reneged on that. Are you in the camp of, for Isak and this going on strike and what he's doing, this is just expected what he has to do? Or do you actually have any sympathy with the Geordie fans?
It depends on the verbal agreement that he had at the end of the season, because there's a lot of rumours come out and saying, look, I absolutely love the club, but I want to move on. I want to challenge myself. And if that's what's kind of transpired, then again, I don't blame Isak at all. It's hard for Newcastle, because technically they're the most powerful and the most the richest club in the world. They can buy anyone supposedly, but the draw of Newcastle, you only need to go back 5 years ago when they were playing in Championship. So it's just that they are a big team within Newcastle, but not the rest of the world, right? And Isak he's getting to the point where he's world class. So why wouldn't he want to win the Champions League and the Premier League, and actually even have a nomination for the Ballon d'Or as well, and have that kind of the trophy cabinet? I don't blame him, but again, it just depends on the verbal agreement. Also as well is Eddie Howe. I think he's a good manager, but again, I don't think he's world class. I don't think that if Newcastle are looking at this project of being the biggest and the best and the most expensive club, I don't think Eddie Howe has that kind of draw to get in the actual players that's going to make them, challenging for the actual Premier League.
It is so weird to me that the Newcastle, obviously Saudi owned, all that, but people know the details. if you look at the way the Saudis have approached other sports, like, as we know, we both like boxing. They've just taken that over, haven't they? They've just bought it and taken it over to a different level. You could name other sports when they've done the same, where usually they don't care about upsetting the apple cart because they'll buy the apple cart to start with, and like everyone will, just fall into line. For football in the Premier League, it does seem so different in the sense of they don't want to upset the apple cart. I just thought they'd start to come in, spend millions and millions, and people would go, oh, like City lined up with a fine, and they'll go, cool, we'll pay it in 10s and 20s. We don't care really. Like, I did think that's what they would do, but they don't seem to be doing it. I think that maybe forms part of it. But yeah, Isak, people, when he's going to come, I think we do both think he will come. It's a when, not if. But there's a question mark on this. And I suppose the second big question, Jamesy, Arne Slot's on the screen there. Let me just give you a comment he made to Sky Sports today. I see Hugo Ekitike as a 9 that could also play from the left or together with another 9. We need to have one more attacker at least. That was the statement, the words taking it from his Sky Sports interview earlier today. So with that in mind, and say Alexander Isak does get added to that list there with Salah, Chiesa, Gakpo, Ekitike, Doak and Gaboa. We could obviously debate of who will still be there at the end of the window. Is just Isak enough, or do you need more?
It's a great question, isn't it? Because you've got Isak, that's very much going to be a centre forward. That's kind of the main man. Then you've got Ekitike that can play in the left, and he can also play centre forward. But then you've also got Gakpo, very much left. We tried him in attacking midfield, doesn't really work as well. You've Wirtz, he can also play on the left, but again, he works better with that 10 kind of position. Then you've got the right side, and you have the emergence of Rio. And again, you've got Rio and you've got Chiesa. And, we have a song for Chiesa, and I just want him to do so well, just kind of. So if he does stay, I would love to see him get minutes. But I think we've had a conversation. We're not 100% sure that Slot fancies him. And I think that's what it really comes down to. When we get put out in the FA Cup, he was supposed to be the main man, and he was atrocious, if you remember that.
Yeah.
It's a hard one, Dave. It really is a hard one. Like, more about the versatility. Like, obviously we've lost Diaz, and we've lost Nunez as well, but we've gained Ekitike and actually Isak, and then again Gakpo, Chiesa. No, I'm going to say I think we're okay. I just had to kind of sort of the process of elimination there. I think we're okay in attack if we can get Isak. I think we have enough in attack. If Chiesa goes, then obviously it's another conversation. And also, sorry, because we also have on the right, we also have Frimpong as well can do a job. So we know that he can play. Slots came out and he said that he can replace Salah as well. Frimpong's numbers are frightening when it comes to goals and assists, and we know how quick he is. So, an absolute headache for an actual defender. You've Bradley fit. You've got Frimpong playing where Mo is, and then effectively you've got Bradley as well supporting him and right back. So all is shiny.
I'm swithering a little bit on this because I get you. I get what you're saying. Is when I look at this collection of forwards down the list, I'm thinking of, as we saw last season, Arne Slot fancies players or he doesn't. And it wouldn't matter when the midfield was on its arse last season. Other players wouldn't come in, would they? Like Harvey Elliott. And he just wouldn't use them because he didn't fancy them unless it was a Carabao Cup. But any big game wasn't happening. And I looked down this list, Jamesy, and straight away, like the second one down, Federico Chiesa, clearly doesn't fancy him at all. In fact, Lewis Steele said today there's still the expectation he will probably move very late in the window. Italy still suspected, but it just seems to be playing out. But long story short, Slot doesn't fancy him. So I almost delete him in the best possible way. Ben Doak, 20 million seems to be able to get it done. The World and his wife have made an inquiry for Ben Doak, haven't they? All these clubs, someone just needs to stump up and do that. Rio and Gamoa. I think the kid looks special. We're hearing he's special, all these different bits. And I still think he will play some minutes more than people think, but it is just huge pressure to put on the kid. So when you delete them out the lineup, that only leaves you with 3 senior forwards, doesn't it? And then Isak comes in to make a 4th senior forward. Wirtz, as you said, seems to be settled as a 10, even if he does push him there. I do think if Doak and Chiesa go, which I think most expect them to, it depends if Liverpool can do the deal. I think it will be Isak on one more. And I know you kind of mentioned this, so just brass tacks, Doak and Chiesa go. Do you think it then is Isak and one more?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Because exactly what you're saying is you can't depend on Rio. That's not fair. And a 16-and-a-half-year-old kid to kind of have that kind of responsibility. So I think what you're saying, I'm going to agree with that. Yeah. But the only stipulation is if Chiesa and Doak go.
Yeah, because you can't... Honestly, we'll know how it works. You can't be keeping 2 wingers you don't want, and then it looks, the way we work as an operation, and bringing others in. Mr. 365 boy saying there, I think we're light on the right. Bradley gets too many injuries, so Frimpong would have to stay fullback. And when Salah goes, who we've got? I mean, it is 6 games for AFCON. I did want to ask you, because he is your countryman, Conor Bradley. I know he's a player you've always loved. I like Conor Bradley and watching him. The legs seem to be made of cheese strings a little bit, though, don't they?
Yeah, but it's just because the way he plays with that kind of full-blooded, so it's the tackles and the challenges, and that's it. It's a lot of impact challenges. He just 100% always leaves it in. There's no kind of like Szoboszlai. He's very neat and tidy player, while Conor Bradley's very much like, I'm going to get this job done. So I guess sometimes he's a little bit unlucky. He gets a lot of challenges, and then it's just an accumulation effect over the next couple of games, and then he just ends up, as you're saying, like cheese strings. I like that.
Yeah. I think everyone would love Conor Bradley to get like a run of 10 games, or just when he's fit for 10 games in a row that way as well. So yeah, we will see. Everyone's piling the thoughts in. Taylor Stewart wants Fofana, Malik Fofana. That'll be from Leon. Yeah, people talking about Doak, other options. I tell you what, there's a lot of business still to happen in that forward line. Both ways, I think we will have to see with 16 days left. But to finish, Jamesy, we talked about defence and you mentioned it. Giovanni Leoni, we got the here we go last night, didn't we? In fact, 26 million quid for 6'5", 18 years old. He doesn't half look a unit, by the way. He's in Liverpool right now. We know he might have completed his medical for all we know. They could be doing the footage of the release video, etc. Expecting it to be announced, confirmed probably at some point tomorrow. I mean, just first of all with this, Leoni, excited for this one?
Absolutely. 100%, yeah. An 18-year-old, like kind of Italian centre back that's been talked about, like the next Bastoni. He's like brazy. He's maybe not the quickest, but the way that he can kind of cover ground and the way he can kind of position himself as well, fantastic. We also have to remember as well, like 18-year-old, he's still a kid. Like no matter whatever way you want to say, he's still a kid, and he's growing into his body. But how he bullied Lukaku and how he bullied Vanovic off the ball last year, like just watching a couple of them clips, like they're big, heavy lads, and it's how he puts it's how the upper body and the physicality of how he can put his body in the way, and then he can carry the ball up. The good thing about it as well is that it seems that if he's in our system, the progressive passes, it doesn't mind. He's going to kind of just carry the ball forward. He's a presence. Like when you think about Kwanzaa, I never thought Kwanzaa was like a proper presence, like a real like kind of steely defender with a real intelligence. Kwanzaa always had a mistake in him, and we always said like, it's just him, like kind of his craft and so on and so forth. While Leoni, yes, he'll make mistakes, but he'll learn so quickly from them. And if he has VVD as a steward there, I think we're on to an absolute fantastic centre back. I really do.
I am excited. I am really excited from, as you said, everything we've heard. Arrigo Sacchi, for God's sake, describe him as the future of the Azzurri defence. All the footage, the different, it's all so exciting. And Liverpool have been after this type of centre-half for ages. Like we were talking about Lenny Yoro last season, weren't we, at different points? Huijsen, so they're getting this young centre-back, the next starlet. I don't want to say VVD replacement because that is just too much pressure on the kid for a start. But for Leoni arriving, we've talked about this. Everyone knows what's going on. Marc Guehi, we're in talks with Crystal Palace, aren't we? We're trying to get that deal. It's about what will Liverpool pay? Will Palace budge on their price? There's even talks about, will Guehi come? Will he finish this World Cup year at Palace if he plays week in, week out? Will he get game time at Liverpool? All these things are just in the hopper at the moment. This is going to sound negative, but it's just an honest question. Leoni enough alone, or Leoni and Guehi to be a good summer for you?
Leoni and Guehi. I mean, you think about the two centre backs we have at the moment, VVD and Konate, and then you usually have Gomez, you have Gravenberch, and you have effectively Endo that can play centre back. Gomez is not. He's injury prone. We've seen that. He hasn't had a pre-season again. So again, this is a challenge that we have. We're always chasing the tail. So again, with Leoni and with Guehi, especially when it comes to cups and kind of the Carabao and the FA Cups and those kind of wee rounds that effectively we can sort of rest Konate and VVD and kind of just sort of push on from there. I think we need 4 centre backs. I really do, Dave.
Yeah, and I do feel exactly the same about that one. It is Guehi is for now. And if you're going to compete on all fronts, and we need to win now because VVD, Ali, Salah, these are legends, but they're all aging at the same time. You need players for now. That's not to be dismissive of Leoni, but you would almost want this season to be one of, I suppose you'd call it integration, development, getting used to the English game, how it works, managing his minutes carefully, and doing it that way. And I mean, yeah, Mr. 365 boy saying that as Guehi got the balls to fight for his place. It'd be interesting to see if more comes out around this, or is he waiting for Konate to leave to be guaranteed a starting position? Well, we've said we can't afford to let Konate go this season. There's too many prizes, too many pots. The final big question, Jamesy, for this show. We've talked Isak, we talked Guehi, we know Leoni's coming, we've talked all these bits, forwards, who might go. It all really comes down to, people are never too excited about leavers. That's just always part of the transfer flavour. It's who's arriving. How many players before this window shuts in 16 days, and what position, Jamesy?
So who leaves?
Leaves. Just give me who's coming. No one... Ultimately, it's the arrivals that are the sexiest, aren't
they? Okay. So Isak, and then the permutation of FKs and Elliott leaves. I think that we go for Fofana. I think that again, it's that natural raw talent, and again, sculpting that into a slot machine would be really exciting as well. And learn from the best, obviously Salah. So that would be something that I would kind of go for. And then centre back, Guehi. Definitely, I think he's gonna come in as well. Weirdly, so we've got 3.
Weirdly, considering there, and we're already counting Leoni as arrived people before you say, because he's doing his medical. We've got to add him to the list almost already. Touch wood. I think you're right. I still think it's 3. I still think that Guehi arrives, Liverpool will not pass up this responsive opportunity, and they're calling it a market opportunity. Yes, they'll have a price they want to pay, but they'll know if they want him in the big prizes this season, he could be a really key, crucial ingredient. Like you said, Isak's going to be one. And I do think Chiesa and Doak and Elliott will depart, and that will bring another into the mix, which also, this is a bit worrying me that I'm agreeing with you so much, but I do think someone like a Malik Fofana and some player like that will come in, which, 3 arrivals on top of Leoni. Let's finish it there, James, on one question. Leoni, Guehi, Isak, and Fofana come in, what would you score that window out of 10?
I think that's the best window that I can ever imagine. So let's say 11 out of 10. That's kind of where I'm going with that, because that's a perfect window. That's depth and strength, and then that's not going from just like squad players. That's starting 11 players. So I think that's 11 out of 10.
Technically, it's a ridiculous score, but when you give it the rationale, it makes complete sense. I know people asking about Costa. Yeah, I think there'll be other departures like Simicast will go, Elliot, all the players we mentioned, absolutely. But like you, if those things happen, and it's still a big 16 days or so, despite what's happened so far for Liverpool, if all those things happen, there hasn't really been a better window in our lifetime. You can, chop it up however you want, but to get that many positions, maybe, just maybe, it could end up being, as some people will suggest, you can have too much turnover, can't you, or too much chopping up. But just on the surface, I think it's absolutely brilliant. We will see, though. There's a long time there to talk. There's a long time to work through. And the next time we reconvene, the window will be shut. So we'll see how correct our predictions were. Well, it only leaves me to say two things. Mark, for leaving us in the lurch. We hope your business fails. But Jamesy, for giving us the time and making that available, it is appreciated, mate.
No problem at all. Thanks, Dave. Enjoyed that.
And ladies and gents, that was the first red alert of the season for Anfield Index.